Hello and welcome to Do-It-Yourself Musician. Today we have something a little bit different. It's not a musical instrument or any kind of musical equipment. It's a Hewlett Packard 34401A digital multimeter. This is a benchtop multimeter, and I bought it for use here on my bench. It needs a little work to make it work right. I know a lot of you guys probably won't be interested in this, but if you are looking for a cheaper, better sort of bench top multimeter, this is a good one to consider. These were made for many years, I mean probably decades. These are made under all three names that this company went under is HP, Agilent, and now I think it's Keysight. I mean it's been made a long time, so there are a lot of these around. You can find them on eBay. I'm not going to say they're cheap, but if you find one that's maybe a little bit broken, get a little bit better deal on it. And that is the case with this one. The display is dark. Some of the digits are failing a little bit. They're missing part of their digits, but it does pass the self-test and everything. And I'll move you in closer and I'll do the little startup self-test so you can see that it does in fact work. Okay, to do self-test on this guy, if you just hold down shift and turn the power on and wait for a loud beep. Right there, it's going to start testing. And there you go, pass. So it does work. There is also another sort of test all thing you can do in there, but I'm not going to do it because I know that this thing works. The real problem with it is just the display being very dark, and you can kind of see there it's not very bright. There are some of the digits over here on this side, they don't work fully. Some when I don't know, when it displays an 8 or something, you won't get the little bar in the middle. I don't know enough about that. But anyways, I'm just gonna replace the display on this. They're available on eBay. I've got one that I bought for I think it's about $40, something like that. Let me show you that. Okay, here's a look at this display. This is a vacuum fluorescent display. Kind of an old technology. It's a little bit like a vacuum tube. It's sealed in a vacuum. There's even a getter over here. If you know a little bit about vacuum tubes, you know about the silver in them. It's called the getter. This is very similar to that. But yeah, this is just the replacement. It's readily available on eBay. These things are. I've seen them go from anywhere from like $30 on up to like $80, depending on if it's, I think, an original or not. This is I don't know. This is something from China. It's not an HP part or anything, but it should be fine. I'll actually link to Ian Scott Johnson's video. He's fixed a bunch of these 34401As. If you're interested in that, you can kind of see a lot from those. But today I'm just gonna swap this thing out. So hopefully it's gonna be an easy swap. Nothing will go wrong, and the unit will still work after. I hope nothing goes wrong and I don't screw nothing up. I'm gonna do the minimal disassembly on this and just try to get it going. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and get in there and see what we got. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that this unit also, I bought this from a very reputable company on eBay. Somebody might recognize the logos on these things, and they've got their own little like void stickers on here, but obviously I'm going to take those off. There is, I think, yeah, right here, I think that's cracked right here. That's also something that was wrong with it, but I think I'm just going to put a little epoxy on that. It's not going to matter in the long run. I'll just void my warranty real quick here, and then we'll get this thing open. Yeah, there's just a little closer picture of it. Yeah, there's a little crack on this side, but just a little epoxy or maybe even some super glue actually would probably deal with that. Okay, so this faceplate's partially held on with like this weird latch thing. It's some kind of, I don't even know what to describe this is, but this whole block right here, that is the inputs on the face here. It's like it's all part of that. But I do know that you can push this through with the screwdriver here to try to latch that out of there and get that out. And now should be able to release the front face plate. I'm no expert at this though, so give me a second. Yeah, so I'm no expert at this, but it seems like just squeezing the chassis a little bit kind of frees it up, but I'm actually not entirely sure if that's the right way to be doing this. I can't get that. I mean, I got one side free. There we go. I think that might be, I'll just, okay. It's mostly, I don't want to force that. I think this ribbon cable's maybe holding it a little bit, so give me a second. Let me probably do this off camera. I don't want to force anything. Okay, yeah, it was just hanging up on. There's these little, I don't know, kind of screw bosses here. It was just kind of hanging up on that, and I got it out. Now I know I can release this ribbon cable right here, but I'm actually just trying not to do that. I'm trying not to take this too far apart. I think if I just get the PCB out of here, that I can just work on it here next to the unit. And now, as far as I know, all you got to do is lift this piece of PCB up right here and slide this over, just like that. This should lift out. There we go. And there is the VFD right there. Yeah, and taking a look at the getter on this one, it's not white, but it's definitely not silver. So it's definitely losing its vacuum. Now, as far as I know about this, there's really no obstructions to taking this out, other than just obviously desoldering all of these pins. This is not something that I would recommend you do with solder braid. You could do it if you had solder braid, if you're really good with it and careful. But I, of course, have my desoldering gun, so I'm going to use that to desolder these connections here and remove this guy out of here. And I think what I'm going to do is probably just set this on its side. That makes the most sense to me. So I'm just adding a little bit of fresh solder to these. It makes it a little bit easier to desolder these pins. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy to come out of here now. There might be something. Hopefully nothing else is holding it. Feels like something over here. There it is. Alright, here we go with the new one. Let's see if we can get this guy in there and also get it the right way around. Alright, well, it looks like I'm going to have to bend often on these kind of pins, these dual, I guess it is, it's dual inline pins. Is there, you got to bend them a little bit to get it in there. It's funny, like I'm looking at this just right now and looking away. It looks like there's solder here and there's like tarnish. This looks like a pull, to be honest with you. So I don't know, we'll have to see what this looks like, but this looks like it's been pulled out of something else, which is not cool because it was sold as new. Try to get this guy lined up here. Alright. Okay. I can already tell it's going to take me a minute to get this lined up, so I'm going to do it off camera. Okay, so I did get it to go in there. I just had to, honestly, I just used this little screwdriver and kind of had to straighten the pins until it fell into the holes. It's probably fine. Though I do have one out over here, and that's not good. I think maybe I have a hole that's still got solder in it. Alright, let me get that straightened up. So I just tacked a pin over here and a pin over here and made sure that that thing was flush and seated against the PCB on the other side. And now we'll just solder it in. Sorry. Alright, that looks good. And I did get it in the right way around. It doesn't look like anything is shorted. So that looks good. I think it's probably going to be okay to just plug power in and turn it on. I think that should be fine. I don't think anything will happen. That way we just test it right now. Alright, I got it plugged back into power. I'm just going to hit the power switch and we'll see if it comes on. Cross your finger. Hopefully nothing blows up. Hopefully it just works. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, look at that. That is much, much brighter. Look at that. There you go. That looks good. Well, I don't have the front panel hooked up, so I can't put it in the test mode or anything, so this is good enough for me. I'm just going to reassemble it and we'll go from there. So that's not all fully in there. There actually is, there's not. I thought it was missing a screw. There's not a screw on this side. It's just on this side. Okay, and I did also take out the on button. Hope I can remember how this went in here. Root it all down under the transformer here. I was actually gonna just assemble that whole thing, but I thought let me stop and just be sure. Let me do the turn on test here. Yeah, that's much brighter. All right, got a pass on it. Yeah, I know you can't see that well. Let me get a little closer and let's try to do the all test on it. All right, let me see if I can remember. There's some combination of stuff you got to do to get into these menus here. I think it's in the system menu. Test. Let me see. Test all. I think enter. There you go. There you go. Pass. And look how much brighter that is. And also during that, I didn't see any kind of weird digits or anything. The other display had like little ghost digits showing. It don't see any of that now. Okay, I don't have any, fancy gear to test something like this out. I don't have like a really precision resistor or a really good DC source, but let's try a couple of resistors here. I think this one here is a 2K, looks like 1.977. This one looks like a 2.2K. I can get on it. Yeah, 2.2K. Just not making good contact there. And I guess I can turn on some DC here and we can just try to measure some DC. Okay, we're set up on DC now. I got the power supply set up to make 3.3 volts, and let's see what happens. And there you go, 3.3 volts. Let me adjust the voltage up a little bit. Going up, try to go up to 5 volts. There's 5 volts. Let's see. Let's try to go up to like 12 volts. Right there. There's 12 volts. So it's tracking just fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. It looks good to me. Now, I don't know exactly how good or bad the calibration on this thing is. All I can really do is test it against my other meters over time and check it out. Maybe when I get some better equipment in here, I could actually align it, but I'm not going to worry about that. It is close enough for the kind of stuff I do. Real quick, while I did have this apart, I did want to let you know that I looked around in here really good, and this unit is so clean for the age of this thing. I really don't know kind of what the the age of this guy would be, but this is pretty old because this is the HP version. So, I mean, this is like the 80s, maybe late 80s. I don't know, something like that. So, you know, in gear that old, you know, you start to wonder about the electrolytic capacitors. You've got 3 here and one big one back here. These look excellent to me. I mean, and like I said, everything is so clean. There's not even hardly any dust inside of this unit. And with the unit working perfectly, I'm not going to touch anything. Just going to let it ride because I don't see any type of issue. Okay, yeah, I can't see that date over there. It's rubbed out. It's September something, I think 23. And I did take a look at a few components in here, and they all seem to be from the 90s. Sometimes the date codes on these components can be misleading, but I'm seeing 93, 95, 96, and I think the latest one I saw was 99. So I'm going to say this is late 90s, maybe 1999 era. But like I said, everything in here just looks fantastic to me, and I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm just going to use it. Of course, that reminds me that we still have this right here. It's just broken right there. And yeah, you can see right there kind of what we're dealing with. Yeah, there's a piece snapped out of here too. So I've got some of this JB Weld plastic bonder epoxy. Let's give this a try. It looks like it's going to be almost the same color as that. So let's give this a go. That's not equal. Okay. Seems like the JB Weld's jammed up. There we go. All right. Does nothing ever go right? Seriously. All right. Come on. Yeah, equal amounts my ass. Yeah, whatever, dude. It's a joke. All right, there we go. That's what we got. Hopefully that's going to be good enough. Okay, looks like the epoxy is set up now. That's what we got there. Looks pretty good. I didn't block the screw hole, thankfully. And it went through to this side. I didn't get it filled all the way in here, but it doesn't matter. It's good enough for a fix. And boy, I was way wrong on the color. I thought it was going to be more of this color, but no, this is kind of like a green or something. It's weird. But yeah, light tan. So just need to put the screw back in there and put it back on. I think that that'll be a pretty good fix. Should be pretty permanent. Alright, well there you go. That was a nice little easy upgrade and fix to the Hewlett Packard 34401A benchtop multimeter. If you guys could please like and subscribe to the video. It would greatly help me out right now, as I haven't produced videos on this channel in quite some time, so I'm not getting the kind of views that I used to. So any little bit you can do to help me out would be greatly appreciated. So see you on the next one.